best place for below average Star Wars.
Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Show, the best place for below average Star Wars. I'm your host Peter, and today I'm joined by Geordie Jedi Allan and Canon Junkie XL Iain. Lads, how are you doing?
Doing all right. And
I'm all right, mate. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
it's been a while since we've all been together recording. Obviously, life gets in the way, but it's awesome to have you back on, and it's a special occasion. So we're recording this on the 15th of August, 2020. So tomorrow, the 16th of August, will be our 1 year anniversary of the podcast. So me and Alan recorded our first episode 1 year ago tomorrow when we reviewed the season 2 trailer for Resistance.
Mm-hmm. God, seems like such a long time ago now. It really does.
Yeah, it seems like more than a year, to be honest with you. It really does. But it's crazy how time works, isn't it?
Isn't it just? So much has gone on in between.
Like with like me and you went to Celebration like after that, and like, what did we?
No, we start doing this after Celebration.
After Celebration, see, time warps the brain. There we go. But yeah, it just seems like.
Well, we did go to Celebration, but there was nobody there.
Oh, well, it hasn't been yet. It's next. Well, it's end of this month, isn't it? It's meant to be. But
yeah.
But yeah, how you been keeping, Alan? You've been reading any Star Wars or playing any Star Wars games or building any Star Wars models while we haven't recorded?
No, I haven't really. I've been starting to plan on doing, that stuff that I actually got from the Celebration last year. I've had a few more things to add to it to get the diorama going. But I started off this diorama of something else just when the lockdown started happening. But my God, this thing is so bloody detailed. I'm still on with it now. I've still got another few weeks worth of work to do with it. So I haven't really managed to get into any kind of Star Wars because I've been concentrating on this.
What's the Star Wars diorama you're planning?
So I've got a couple of ATSTs and I've got a couple of what do you call them? Snow speeders. And basically they're just gonna. It's kind of gonna be like. One of the ATSTs is like just destroyed one of the snow speeders, and one of the other snow speeders destroyed the other ATST. It's kind of big. I think I want to call it like 1 for 1 or something like that. But it's going to be lit up to hell.
That'd be cool, mate. It sounds really awesome. Where were they from again? Were they from the Fantasy Fight games?
Yeah. So the first two were, and then. I managed to find out that the Bandai stuff is pretty much exactly the same scale. There's only a couple of millimeters difference in them. So,
all right. So you're combining Fantasy Fight products with Bandai products. Awesome.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You have to keep updated, mate, and get some pictures sent our way so we can post them for the listeners once you get started with it.
Yeah, I think I will.
Awesome. And Iain, obviously we've not spoke since even before the last episode. So how have you been entertaining yourself Star Wars wise lately?
Just been trying to catch up with all the books I need to read. I've just finished Alphabet Squadron, the second book, Shadowfall, which is really good. And obviously they've just revealed, we'll get into that later, the third book, which comes out next year. I'm just trying to catch up. I got Poe Dameron Freefall the other day, which I need to read, but first I need to finish Queen's Peril by E.K. Johnson, and then because at the end of the month we get the Clone Wars book and the first book of the new Thrawn trilogy. So just trying to catch up with my reading, to be honest. And I just read the newest issue of the Darth Vader series by Greg Pak, which was insane as well. So just reading, mate, to be honest.
I wish I'd been reading. I've got so many books to catch up with. I've got Thrawn Treason still to read. I've got Black Spire Outpost still to read. I've got Alphabet Squadron 2 still to read. I wasn't Forbidden Planet and picked up loads of comics like in their sale. So I've got so I'm still in like the first initial Star Wars run. I'm on to like volume 11 and 12 before I can start on the new ones. So I need to read those. I picked up Star Wars Target Vader.
Yeah, that's a good read.
So I picked them up for like £8 trade paperback, so I was happy with that. And I picked up Dr. Aphra Rogue's End, so it's volume 7. That was £8 as well. But I'm a few behind on Dr. Aphra, so I can't read that one just yet.
Yeah, the new Vader series is good. No, they're all good, but yeah, this one's really good.
Yeah, I don't mention spoilers, but
Yeah.
I saw that episode 4, like sneak peek. Episode 4, sorry, volume, issue 4, sorry, the sneak peek looked pretty awesome. So I need to get caught up on my comics and my books, really, because like I want to be up to date by the time the new Thrawn comes out. When does Thrawn book 1 come out?
Sure. Just double check. Like, I'm sure it's September 1st.
Jesus.
You got some reading to do.
I think it is September 1st, to be fair. So,
yeah. So that's one for you, Alan, because obviously it's Timothy Zahn's new Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah.
So, obviously your favourite author, Tim Zahn.
Yep, September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Except expected on September 1st. So.
We'll see.
Well, let's hope.
I'm excited for that, though, because they can literally do anything. It's before he was in the Empire. It's out in the unknown regions. Blank canvas to do whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm excited for that aspect. I mean, before I go too far into it, I'm excited for like the fact that like not really expecting anything. Like it's all going to be like fresh, and in the way the story takes or how it winds and takes on like different directions, it's going to be quite like a roller coaster. I'm excited for having no expectations, basically. And
it's a second trilogy, isn't it? Because he obviously had the first one with Thrawn, alliances, and treason. Meh, which I wasn't overly impressed with, to be fair.
Was that the second book?
That was the
third
book.
Yeah.
Third. Oh, I couldn't put that one down.
Because I thought it was a bit. Yeah. I think it was a bit on the. Maybe I need to go back and reread it, like. But I was waiting.
But I was that way with the second book. It took me a long while. I think I was about 3/4 of the book, and I was really struggling. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, I just picked up on it, and I finished the last quarter of the book in about a day. You know what I mean? I just couldn't put it down.
Awesome. Well, I need to read the book, so once I've read it, I can chime in with my thoughts on it. But until then, it's funny enough, like that's the one I haven't started yet. So like the other ones, I've sort of half started Alphabet Squadron 2, and I've sort of half started Black Spy Outpost. So I need to like get them done and then start this one.
Yeah, I'm bad for doing that. Starting one book and starting another. I just need to focus on one.
Yeah, definitely. Diving into our first topic again, obviously there's been rumblings of a Lando series being developed for Disney Plus. This will be a young Lando series featuring Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian, sort of a sequel or prequel around the Solo, a Star Wars story film era. Ian, what's your sort of first initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was surprised to hear Donald Glover's coming back. Not because he wouldn't want to do it. It's just he's one of the busiest actors in the world. Obviously, and he's Childish Gambino as well, so he's got his music as well. So I was shocked. They must have paid him an absolute fortune to come back. I'm not saying he didn't like doing the character, but because he wouldn't want to be Lando Calrissian. But like I said, they must have paid him an absolute fortune to come back because he won't come cheap.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the guy's like, he's an actor, he's a musician, he's a producer, he's a writer. He works on a lot of projects. I remember he working on like an anime. He was writing an animated Deadpool series that like the Fox ended up like pulling the plug on, and he was really upset because like they wrote this awesome script and stuff. So like the guy works damn hard in all aspects of like everything he's doing, whether he's writing something, whether he's producing something, whether he's actually starring in it. So the guy is a busy guy. So has it been confirmed pretty much, Ian, do you think, that it's happening?
The guys at Kessel Run Transmissions have said it's all happening. They have got a good track record. It hasn't been officially confirmed, but I think it's pretty much nailed on that this is happening. I don't know whether we were going to get an announcement at Celebration. Obviously, with Celebration not happening, and no sign of Lucasfilm doing like a digital one like DC are doing at the moment.
Yeah,
I don't know whether we'll get that later on. Obviously, there's still rumours of the Rebels sequel and all that, so I don't know. I don't know what's on hold, what's meant to be happening.
Yeah, obviously the Kessel Run Transmissions, obviously those guys over there, like whenever they say something, I tend to I do pay attention to sort of what they're saying because they do have a good track record. And like I said, I don't know who their sources are, but they do tend to get a bit of inside scoop on this, so it's always good to listen to them. Alan, what's your thoughts on sort of a Lando series, like story-wise, character-wise?
I've been looking forward to this. I've been hoping something like this would happen. The Solo film it's really funny. It really needed a sequel, but I don't really felt like it needed a Solo sequel. Like it really was like Kiara and Lando and all the rest of it seemed like they were going to go off on their own little story. Do you know what I mean? And I've been hoping that this would happen, so I've got my fingers crossed that this comes through.
Yeah, I mean, like I would agree with that. I think, like for me, people, I know that obviously there's a lot of sort of make Solo 2 happen. It's got it's sort of a big movement, a lot of good stuff behind it, and obviously more Star Wars is awesome. Like I'm all for more Star Wars. For me, I always thought that I didn't really need a Solo 2, like a sort of a Solo 2 following Han. I was like, how about let's just take the elements we were left with in the movie, which was sort of Kira, Maul, the crime syndicates. Where did Lando go next?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Even Emphas Nest.
Yes, Emphas Nest as well, yeah. So you've got like a lot of elements there that you could tell great stories about.
There's a big story there to be told. There really is.
Yeah. Or not even one big story, but like like three different stories. Lando could go in a different direction, Maul and Kira go another, and then Emphas Nest is another one. Like it's sort of 3 different projects there of gold and storytelling.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty nailed on, though, that she shows up in the Cassian Andor series. I think it's pretty...
You think so?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Early Rebellion.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it'll fit, obviously, just with obviously her link to the Rebels as we got in Solo. And obviously, and then obviously a Cassian sort of Rogue One prequel. I think that would make perfect sense for me.
Plus, sorry.
I'm all about that sort of subtle connectivity. That makes sense, so it'll be awesome.
Plus, someone asked her on Instagram, apparently said, "Oh, you're going to be in the Cassian Andor series." She said, "Oh, no spoilers here," so that makes you sound like she's going to be in it.
Yeah, no comment.
Yeah, so I'm guessing.
Sounds good.
I'm guessing that means she'll be in it.
Definitely. So for me, like I'm quite excited. Obviously, part of us wants it to be a prequel to Solo because I would love to get more L3. I think obviously like a great character portrayed by an absolutely brilliant actress and comedian. And I think getting like her and Donald Glover back together on screen, I thought had like brilliant chemistry.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously to do that, you have to do a prequel or have flashbacks throughout the series. Because obviously Lando might still be upset about losing L3, so you might get like flashbacks maybe. But I would love to see like sort of L3 back.
Yeah.
In some capacity for Lando series.
It's 100% going to be called the Calrissian Chronicles, right?
Yes, 100%. I think it definitely will be called the Calrissian Chronicles. I think it writes itself if you call it that, pretty much.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Lando series, guys?
It'd be interesting to see if they bring some more of like his Legends adventures in, because apparently I'm not really that much in the know of Lando in Legends, but apparently he mentioned a couple of his Legends adventures in Solo.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be good to see if they bring back some of the old Legends stuff. Because Solo's full of Easter eggs, absolute tons of Easter eggs. Just Dryden Voss's office is enough for anyone.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's where this series would really come into its own if it did pay homage to sort of some of those sort of Lando novels. I mean, I've not read many of them, but I know that there is like obviously like there was a trilogy of books written about Lando, as well as other tales about Lando and Han. And obviously in the new canon, we only really had sort of Last Shot, the Han Solo novel, which deals with Lando quite a bit.
Yeah.
His
Charles Soule comic series is really good as well.
Yeah, was that the one-off where he steals Palpatine's yacht?
Yeah, without knowing it's Palpatine.
Yeah, and it's full of like Sith artifacts on board. It was really creepy. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
That was a good one.
I mean, you get obviously the Lobot origin story, don't we, in that as well? Which was really cool.
like he is.
Yeah, I recommend that anybody who loves Lando, or loves like Han and Lando and like the smugglers and the sort of what's the word? The
Underworld.
The scoundrels. Definitely check out that one-off. You can get it in trade paperback, the one-off volume by Charles Soule, the Lando series, because it's really, really phenomenal, and also for Lando, but it's like loads of little, because it's Palpatine's yacht that he steals by accident. It's transporting loads of Sith artifacts and other Force type artifacts, so you get loads of little snippets in there as well, like deep Force things. which I find really interesting. So like I really dug that of it as well. So definitely worth checking out for anyone listening.
He's really, Charles Soule, like that, because that Lord Momin's helmet that's the helmet that possesses people, and obviously you see that more in the Vader thing, in the Vader series. He's very good at like seeding stuff for later on.
Yeah. So there's obviously an artifact on that boat on a boat straight on the yacht that plays into the Vader comic later, which was released after, which like sort of has a big part of Vader building his castle on Mustafar, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mean, I think Charles Soule's the man for me at the minute for Star Wars. Like, everything I've read of him is absolutely phenomenal. And obviously, he's writing the new Star Wars line, isn't he? Is that right?
He's writing that, and he's writing the first novel of the High Republic.
Yeah. So like for me, I'm really digging him, and I'm glad he's got that first novel, and I'm really glad he's writing this. I'm not reading it yet, but he's writing sort of the Star Wars comic after it's picked up after Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So, and I'm really excited to dig that. So like, he is the man for me. So. Like more Charles Soule writing Star Wars, please. So moving on from that, we've got another series rumoured. So it's sort of like a Maul series / Crime Syndicate series. So again, it's sort of more of a sort of offshoot of Solo. For me, I think this is a no-brainer. I think like Maul is like such a popular character ever since like just coming back in Clone Wars and how much he played a part in sort of that final season, that final arc of Clone Wars. And then obviously in sort of that sort of surprise in Solo when we see him. I think like it makes perfect sense to do that. And if you do a Crime Syndicate series, you wouldn't even need Maul to be there much. You could totally rule from the background, sort of like Palpatine did in The Phantom Menace, where he's like hardly there, but he's like pulling the strings.
Yeah.
And you just have some scenes with him. So for me, like I think a Maul or Crime Syndicate series, like sounds really tantalising, and I would totally focus on the Crime Syndicates and how he has control of them. And you could even go into how he loses control of them, or how the Crime Syndicates are fighting back, or how the Empire affect the Crime Syndicates. There's so many different directions you could go in. With that, you could almost go like Sopranos style, where like the first few seasons could be about how Maul has the Crime Syndicates and how he rules them. And you could run that for a couple of seasons, and then the final seasons could be about how he eventually loses control and how he ends up on Malachor during Rebels season 2. Is it season 2? Season 2, isn't it?
End of season 2, yeah.
Yeah. So, and how we find him on Malachor. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
I don't care as long as Hondo's in it.
Hondo or Naka.
Yeah, Hondo's brilliant. You know, if you're going to have Crime Syndicates, you're going to have Hondo in there somewhere.
I work with the guy. I've worked with a guy at work who like collects Pop Funkos, and like he likes to buy these exclusive ones that aren't available in the UK.
Right.
And he must have a lot of money because like he pays a lot over the odds on eBay. And he was like, I really want the Hondo Knockout one, and he said he put a bid in of £45 on the Hondo Knockout, the one from Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
But then he got outbidded because the final bid was £100.
Really?
And I've got that Pop Funko on. Like I'm looking at it right now. It's on my shelf because I've not been to Galaxy's Edge yet, but I had a friend of the family who went there and they brought it back for us. And I was like, is that how much that's worth? Because part of us felt like going, well,
you get it sold.
I'm for 80 quid, but like I wouldn't do that. But I was just like, surely you must know someone in America. I was asking to buy it for you and ship it here. It'd be cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know anybody.
He's obviously a popular character, though. If people are paying £100 for him.
Yeah, I love the character. Yeah,
I think it's
good
brilliant.
fun. Yeah, he's good fun.
Yeah. I just love the way he let you like literally stab you in the leg or something and go, "Hey, we're all friends now."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's one of those characters where obviously they're releasing the Black Series Galaxy's Edge figures where they've done Captain Cardinal from the First Order, who appears in that Galaxy's Edge Black Spy Outpost book. I've not finished reading yet.
And Phasma.
Yeah, and I've not read Phasma actually, so I want to read.
It was good. It was a good book. But anyway.
And so they've released him, and then they've released obviously the RX-23, RX-24, but as the DJ mode. So DJ Rex from Cantina, August Cantina, and then supposedly they've got UK release dates like through Hasbro UK because I pre-ordered mine. But then you've got obviously the Target in America are getting the Hondo Naka figure in the same series, but obviously he hasn't had a no one's advertising him yet in the UK, so I wonder what's happening with his release.
Probably.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We'll get him, I think, eventually, but
Yeah.
it just seems how the first two have sort of gone live, and then he hasn't, but we will find out. For me, like, does any, like, how do you feel? You know, are you on like a full-on hardcore Maul character series, or
It's the one
you
thing
are-
I've wanted since Solo ended is the Kira. I love Maul and that, but mainly for Kira as well. I think Emilia Clarke's a great actress.
Yeah, it's definitely a big story there.
But there's 100%.
There's
There's
a
a
lot of
massive
scope.
story.
Yeah.
It just all the stuff because apart John Kasdan tweeted ages ago that the Solo sequel was going to be the crime syndicate was going to war. It was going to be the Hutts, the Pikes, and Crimson Dawn.
Ooh,
And obviously,
I like it.
I just think eventually the Empire will catch wind if it gets out of hand between the crime syndicates and the Empire will get involved, and eventually I think that leads to Maul versus Vader. And because I think they kind of obviously Maul wanted to kill Anakin in the Clone Wars finale.
Yeah.
And I think that's leading to because there's a line in Rebels in that episode where he says, "I can't defeat Vader alone."
I thought Maul personally was an idiot when his plan was to kill Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah,
and especially with him and Kenobi being in the same place at the same time. There's no way you're killing both of them, mate.
no. But that line always made me think that Maul and Vader have
tangled before.
And then I think
Definitely. So for me, like, here's a question. So obviously, when we see Maul talking to the crime syndicates in the final season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Maul's very much like he's obviously ruling from the shadows, like Palpatine's taught him, and he's ruling like, or not just Crimson Dawn, he's ruling like all the crime syndicates, like Crimson Dawn, the Pikes,
Black Sun.
I can't remember what the other Black Sun are there as well. So, do you think he goes from ruling them all to just ruling Crimson Dawn, for he ends up losing some of them?
I think he's controlling them all because then it sounded like in Solo that he just ran Crimson Dawn, but he obviously still got a hold over the Pikes.
Yeah, but in that message where he's like talking to them all, like they're all like in a conference call, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So obviously you're like sort of working under Maul, working together. So like if the sequel was to have them all at war with each other, it must be because they've fallen out with each other. But Maul probably wouldn't allow that.
No, well, unless he's trying to play them off against each other like Palpatine did with the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Fight of the strongest. You know, the strongest will survive and make one big, massive crime syndicate that's massively strong.
Yeah.
Because we don't hear anything about Crimson Dawn after that. So they must be destroyed.
Yeah.
By the time of the original. Obviously, the original trilogy first came out, there was no Crimson Dawn and that, but we don't hear anything about him.
He doesn't really seem to be part of anything in the Rebels series.
No, he seems to have been
Yeah.
Whether that means Kira's betrayed him.
Could be.
Maybe that's where he goes after he gets off Malachor.
Could be. Yeah.
There's definitely a story that I want to know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think obviously he must do something where the Inquisitors come after him because his lightsaber is made from a broken Inquisitor, so he's obviously defeated an Inquisitor in battle to make that lightsaber his. And that's the one he's got in Solo, actually. So he's fought Inquisitors before Solo.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can definitely see because obviously the Inquisitors are hunting him in Rebels because he's on Malachor. I can't remember which brother it is, the 8th brother or something.
Well, look, Inquisitors do actually have to go down before the start of New Hope, don't they? So there's a good way of getting rid of one of them.
No, definitely. I think they've got rid of most. I think before you know it, they'll kill them all in canon. I think because there's not many left.
Who's left at the end of Rebels? I can't remember who's left. I don't think any of them are left.
No, none of those ones are left. So there might be some other ones from the comics who are left from the video games. But obviously, I didn't believe if was it Ninth Sister?
Yeah,
who fell off the tree.
Yeah, she's not dead.
Like, I don't think she's dead. So but we'll find out in the sequel maybe. Any closing thoughts on the Maul series or the Crime Syndicate series?
Bring it soon.
To be fair, I do want to see Jabba the Hutt on screen again. I think that'd be awesome to see. Go back to Jabba's palace. Like if I could see them doing something with Solo again. I liked Alden Ehrenreich as Solo and that. And
Yeah, he was brilliant.
And
really,
Jonas,
really good.
I can't remember Jonas. I can't remember his last name.
Sumitamo. I think I said that wrong, but
yeah, he's great as Chewbacca and that. I'm always happy to see more Han Solo stuff as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, for me, the one thing for me, if you do a Solo sequel, is that you can't have more because he doesn't believe in the Force, so he definitely hasn't come into contact with this Sith Lord. Do you know what I mean? Or someone who was a former Sith Lord. Because when he delivers that line, like on the Millennium Falcon, about how the phony religions and all that, not as good as a blaster at your side. Like, if he'd witnessed the full power of the dark side, I think he would be pretty scared. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
He would be believing it. He would be believing it.
So I think, like,
not two ways about that.
And I think, like, and if he did come on Maul, I think Maul would kill him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't see Han Solo defeating Maul because, again, if he did, he would know about it. He would know about the Force, the type of thing. He wouldn't be a non-believer.
It's not like Maul's low key. That like Palpatine that can come across as like the nice senator, and that Maul just looks evil.
Oh, definitely. Maul's like, yeah, like he's an evil guy.
He's a stereotypical bad guy, and red and black.
Definitely, and he never learns from his mistakes. He always keeps on trying to get one up on people. Like, he always tries to get revenge, and it's like, it's not going to work, mate. He never learns his lesson.
No.
So he's the perfect bad guy, really. Moving on from that one, we've had confirmation that there's going to be a new holiday special. It's going to be produced by Lego, so it's a Lego holiday special. It's coming to Disney Plus. It's coming in November. I thought this was quite. I don't know if you've. Alan, have you seen the original holiday special?
Yes.
Have you?
I have not.
Remember in the old days when they used to put you all in the at school and you used to go in the hall and then they'd wheel the TV out, you know. So I watched it once then, and I have to admit I don't think I was really impressed with it.
So I think I've seen it once maybe, but like I don't remember it. I certainly haven't seen it.
It's definitely gone filed in the back of my head somewhere in this dark and dusty corridor that actually doesn't have any light bulbs working anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, as a holiday special go, I think like I've heard it's really goofy. I can't remember it. It's really goofy. But it was a mix of like storytelling and like live action storytelling, animated storytelling, and then that was sort of like an evening show, like what's the word? Like, I don't know, a bit like a Conan O'Brien type show as well.
Like a matinee type thing.
No, like it had some like questions and answers with the cast and stuff or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm just assuming that. Yeah. But it was that type of sort of like special occasional holiday specials here. So it's like not really part of canon, but like it's a holiday special that was popular in the 80s. But obviously, like, it's where Boba Fett debuted. Was like an animated Boba Fett. That's where he first debuted. Was it during?
Was it?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you might want to double check that. I might be telling lies. So I'm sure he's riding a mythosaur as well. That's how he debuted.
Yeah, 'cause he had the big. Yeah, I've seen the image of him with the rifle from the Mandalorian.
Yeah. So that's the first. That's the first time Boba Fett was introduced.
Oh, I thought he was in. Oh, was he in a new? He wasn't in A New Hope originally, was he?
No.
Yeah.
If he was, he's in that cutscene which didn't get aired until 1997.
There you go. Yeah.
So like the first public appearance of him was there, which is quite crazy. And you got to think it's probably the birth of like Lucasfilm Animation.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know who designed the cartoon and who produced it, but if it was done in house, that would have been like the first Lucasfilm's first like look into that, which so obviously look at how big Lucasfilm Animation is now. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's
just like, where was Dave Filoni?
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, with the holiday special, like with them coming back, obviously, like I probably want them to do more of the same. Like I want it to be a bit goofy, bit funny, tongue in cheek humor, bit cheeky. Like if you're going to pay homage to it, obviously with it being Lego, if anyone's watched any, I've not watched all of it, but I watched some of Freemakers. The Freemaker Adventures.
Love it.
They're pretty funny, like.
Yeah, and if you played some of the games, obviously some of the humor in the games. So like, I think the way the Lego portray the humor in the games and in the TV shows, I think it sort of lends itself perfectly to the spirit of the holiday special.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right there.
So I think it's probably like a match made in heaven, really, to sort of have Lego doing the holiday special.
Yeah, I just love the idea where they were saying that they were going to have like Rey meet a young Luke Skywalker and stuff like that, you know, and just have the whole big mishmash of all the characters and everything. Sounds pretty cool to me.
It's set after the Rise of Skywalker as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be like
obviously it's not canon, but
I doubt it's canon. But like there could be a few aspects of it that are like a few little. There could be a few conversations that like there could be little nuggets in there. Nothing huge, but like, and you know what? Us Star Wars fans are like, if there's a little nugget, we'll go wild about it.
If she speaks to Buddy Ben Solo in that, the internet's going to lose, man.
Definitely. I hope she does, just so that it does lose its mind.
Yeah, I'm about tired of all that stuff.
But no, I think it's I think it'll be a lot of fun. I wonder how long it'll be with it being Lego animated. I wouldn't know if it'll be like an hour long or a bit shorter.
It doesn't say, to be fair. I'm just reading the news thing, but it doesn't say how long it'll be.
You probably get about half an hour on it, you know.
Yeah, I don't think so. An hour tops.
Yeah.
So the next thing is obviously Alphabet Squadron book number 3, the final book of the trilogy, by Alexander Freed, is coming out next. Is it next year? It's coming out, Ian?
March 2nd, 2021.
Awesome. Has it got a title now?
Victory's Price.
Victory's Price. Awesome. So I've not read Shadowfall, which is book 2 yet. I absolutely loved the first book, and the only reason I haven't read the second one is just time and life getting in the way as such. Obviously, you've read book number 2, Ian, without spoiling too much.
Yeah.
So how did book 2 end? Was it like on a cliffhanger or?
Oh, I can't tell you, mate. If you haven't read it, I can't tell you how it ended. If you haven't read it,
did it lend itself to like waiting for the sequel?
Yeah,
waiting for book 3.
100%. Yeah.
And how does the title sound to you? Is it?
I was just reading the synopsis for it, and it obviously says what is the price if you eventually, because they face Shadowwing twice with varying levels of success, and it says what's the tagline is when you're finally victorious, who pays the price?
All right, cool. So it's about finally vanquishing the Empire.
Well, Shadowwing for one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So when I saw the first, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the title get released today, I was like, "Oh wow, get in!" And my second thought was, "Oh, I need to read that book." Second one.
Yeah.
So I think I would be more excited if I'd read the second one.
You definitely would, yeah.
So like I need to get that done. Other than if you haven't read anything, I'd definitely recommend Alphabet Squadron 1.
I've started the first few chapters, but I'll be honest with you, I forgot the book was there. I put it down and I started getting on other stuff, and like I've totally forgot to pick it back up. And I was really enjoying it where I got to, you know. So you kind of spurred me on. I'm going to finish this one this week, I think.
Definitely pick it back up, mate, and then get on the second book. Yeah, for me, like I'm glad that like they're committing like a trilogy to the story, really, which like it could be scary, like from a financial point of view, because if nobody connects to the first book, like you could be knackered. But obviously, like they are letting these authors, they're committing to them, they're giving them 3 books. And like I said, I love the first one, and like I'm excited to read the second one. So like for me, I'm glad that they're following through. I'm glad that the final one's coming. How excited are you for it to come, Ian? And is it a bit bittersweet, maybe knowing that it's sort of going to end, like there'll be no more Alphabet Squadron books afterwards?
Well, we don't know that, but I'm guessing there won't be. But I can't wait to see what happens in the end. At first, I remember when the first book got announced, everyone was like, Alphabet Squadron, that sounds stupid and all that, because it was a bit weird concept, like a squadron with B wings, Y wings, A wings, X wings. But then everyone loved the first book. The second book's even better, and then reading the synopsis for the third one, it just sounds like it's all coming to a head. And I can't wait to see. I've got a horrible feeling one of the pilots is going to die. I don't know for a fact, but I'm saying I've got a horrible feeling that something's bad's going to happen to one of them at least.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, I did see people talking that I've not read the book, so I don't want to. There's obviously there's a ship missing from the front cover. obviously, I don't know if that actually ties into the end of the second book or not, because I haven't read it.
I can't say.
No, don't say that, because I don't want that spoiled.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like obviously people are already talking about just the front cover and then title alone, which is it's always good to see people getting a buzz about it. And like I said, it really has given me a kick up the butt to really start reading more. So I've bought the books, like they've got me money. I just
like
haven't read them yet. Yeah, life getting in the way, man.
I think also there's a little bit of a lull, like how we haven't had much Star Wars hitting with this year like we normally do. So it kind of like puts you into this false sense of a lull, like you've got all of these books and stuff to read and do and all the rest of it, but it's kind of a little bit like, nah, I'll read it a little bit later. It's not like I need to catch up with it right now,
Yeah, like since the end of Clone Wars, like it has been like has felt weird. Like having a new Clone Wars episode every week during like lockdown was like brilliant. It was so
brilliant,
awesome. Like I miss it so much having like new Star Wars every week. But
we haven't got long to wait. Mandalorian, it's not far.
I know.
I know. That brings us on to like our next topic. So like Mandalorian season 2 is coming October. Is it October? It's coming, I believe.
October, yeah.
So obviously, like we're probably due a trailer on about now. Obviously, we would have got one at Celebration during the panel, I would imagine.
So that's when they're going to drop it, I think, isn't it?
Well, there'll be a lot of news that would have dropped that weekend, so I imagine they won't drop all the news the same weekend because that weekend's not happening. So I imagine they'll drop it over the next month and a half, like gradually here and there. But like for me, if you want to grab the world, you drop that trailer out of the blue sometime soon, make it an awesome trailer, like I said, and then
tonight,
yeah.
Oh, well, I hope not. Next week,
yeah,
and then we can talk about it. That's the plan. Do you think we'll get it in the next? I think we'll get it in the next 2 weeks. Me personally. What are your thoughts on that, Alan?
I think within the week. I think it's the all of a sudden we're starting to ramp up on things. I've noticed little stories here and there starting to leak out and things. I think we'll have this probably by next weekend.
Yeah. How about you, Ian?
Yeah, I think it's not going to be long. Like the show's in 2 months, so it's got to be pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think obviously all those leaks that leaked out sort of in the early part of summer during lockdown. Obviously, it was leak after leak after leak. But apparently, you've cast them, which still hasn't been confirmed or denied by Lucasfilm. I don't believe.
Nah.
So it's like, but now that's died down. No one's really talking about that now. So it's like a case if you want to get buzz for this show, you need to get a trailer out. And for me, you get the trailer out soon because you could drop a trailer and then you could then go into like doing little TV spots further down the line. Obviously, there's no real. Obviously, television sort of changed. So like obviously in the past when you would drop it maybe during a sports game or during Monday Night Football or drop it during a Good Morning America. Obviously, like COVID sort of changed the way people watch television a bit. So would you just cold drop it online? I don't know. Obviously, the mouse does enjoy promoting other shows by saying the trailers for its products are coming on its own networks, if you know what I mean.
I did hear a rumour that it might drop during the NBA playoffs. I don't know anything about that in this country, but
yeah. So like the NBA playoffs are essentially like they're playing the playoffs taking place in Florida, I think, because the teams are staying at Disney World. Like they're all locked down in Disney World, where no one get in or out. Essentially, where the COVID tests every day, and
kind of all makes sense, then, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, so like
what a place to get locked down in.
I don't know what it'll probably air across different networks, but I imagine it'll air on like ABC at some point, which is obviously owned by Disney. So maybe we'll get it during that. I just hope it comes soon. Like I said, I really want to start getting excited about it. And for me, if the trailer does come, like, and some of these leaks that we got at the beginning of summer during lockdown are true, I want to see little teasers of them, like showing how. Like, for me,
you may as well. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, like if Ahsoka's in this show, sure, you don't need to give show us her slicing heads off or like being awesome or using the Force. You just show her like a back shot of a silhouette,
just a glimpse.
Yeah, and just to say, you're right, she's here. But guess what? We're not going to show you right now. You have to wait till episode 1. Like, do you know what I mean?
There's going to be someone in the trailer, whether it's Ahsoka or whether it's Boba Fett.
I would put them all in there. You don't have to show them like all fully, but I would just have little glimpses of them all, just to say like, look what's here. Like, this is what you're getting.
Yeah,
you've waited for like 5 months. We've been quiet, haven't confirmed tonight for 5 months, but here's a little treat. Enjoy. Like,
I would absolutely love to see the trailers be a little bit like, you know how sometimes WWE drops a trailer of something that's coming, where
Like a vignette, yeah, little vignette.
they'll just cut something and then there'll be like just a picture of one thing, and it'll be there for like 5 seconds or something, and then it's gone. You know what I mean? It'd be awesome. It's just watching the program, then all of a sudden the Mandalorian helmet comes up for like 5-10 seconds, and then it goes. That's it. And you're just like, ooh.
Definitely, mate. And then for me, I want different helmets. So I'd want like, if Boba Fett's going to be in there, then change for the next one, put Boba Fett's helmet up.
Yeah,
and
something like that.
And see if people realise it's the different helmet. And then if you want, then you could put up like the Tug Rotor Legos, like if Ahsoka, like they get creative in so many ways.
Yeah,
that would be interesting to see how they do it.
Awesome. Because
yeah,
then you could turn them into posters in itself. Well, I reckon.
Oh, definitely. That's what I mean. Like, it's all sides of salt if they do the right thing.
I've got the first Mandalorian poster on my wall, so I'm pretty sure I'll get the second one.
We've got them from Celebration. I've got one.
Yeah.
Mine's not up yet. Actually, mine's still in its case.
That's mine. It's still in its little packet thing. You know.
Yeah.
But it's perfectly flat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Minty fresh.
Minty fresh. Yes. Spearmint.
Yeah. Has anybody got any other thoughts on the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer?
No, I'm alright, to be
fair. Obviously, last time we were on, me and Alan did discuss the Bad Batch sort of getting announced. Ian, have you got, what's your thoughts on the announcement of the next animated show being the Bad Batch and it coming pretty soon, as in next year?
Did you say it was March?
I think it's March next year, I believe, yeah.
Which is really cool. It's set in one of the unexplored. You've only had a few comics set right after Revenge of the Sith. We can see the galaxy changing from the Republic to the Empire. You can see the Inquisitors start to come out. Obviously, I'm guessing Rex and Ahsoka are going to be in it. We might see some Jedi that we know. Obviously, there's a rumor going around that Quinlan Voss is going to be in it.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'm really excited for the Bad Batch. I have to believe we'll see Vader at some point.
Yeah, so obviously the Bad Batch. I mean, I've heard since me and you spoke on that, like the Bad Batch are working as mercenaries apparently.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It sounds like they're no longer part of the Republic or the Imperial Navy or Army, and they are
going to be the A-team then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I would say we love it if they were 18. They're not being like heroes for hire.
I saw a video where they did like the A-team bit for the Bad Batch.
Really? Yeah, I think it would be like really cool. Do you think that this scene, the Vader scene from the end of Clone Wars? Do you think that takes place after Rebel Season 2 or before?
I think that takes place after the Siege of Lothal, where he finds out she's alive. I think he goes there after that. When
he uses the line, "The apprentice lives."
Yeah, I think that's when. Yeah. I've seen all kinds of theories like that. I think personally that's when he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't really in the Clone Wars. It doesn't really feel like he knew that she was around, or he seemed a bit shocked, you know. So if he had already been to see, you know, that gravesite and saw sabers, then he wouldn't have been as shocked as what he seemed to be in the Clone Wars. I could be reading that wrong, but that's how I took it.
Plus, the bird from Rebels is circling.
Yeah.
No, it's actually from the Clone Wars because it's the daughter from Mortis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I tend to believe that that's after the Siege of Lothal. I think he goes.
Yeah.
Because I like it looks like he's aged quite a bit.
I like to think that that actually happens just either before, like literally just before the New Hope, or actually more often. I like to think that happens just before the Empire Strikes Back. Actually,
I've seen that theory as well. Yeah,
you know what I mean, because you start seeing him really start doubting things, and you know once he finds out Luke Skywalker's around and all the rest of it. So I like to think that it's around that time. You know, seeing Ashoka's lightsabers puts even more doubt in his mind.
Yeah, quite possibly, mate. Quite possibly. Any other thoughts on the Bad Batch, Ian?
No, just started there. I can't wait to see. Obviously, the clones. The clones obviously have been used. Their purpose is now done. The Empire have no need for them. And it'll be quite a thing to see them dealing with Order 66.
Yeah. Do you think they had him at the chips?
The Bad Batch, yeah, I do think they did, yeah.
You think they killed some Jedi?
Possibly, yeah. Because obviously, before the Clone Wars season 7 came out, everyone assumed, oh well, Rex wouldn't have done it, and he tried to, and yeah.
I wonder if because they're genetically altered, whether like they don't have them.
You wouldn't want Wrecker running around with no chip in.
Maybe not.
I've just damaged.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I wonder if we'll find out who they work for in that episode where they confess that they don't know who they take the orders from.
Yeah, that was left a bit ambiguous on it.
I wonder if we'll find that out, whether it's like they get orders directly from the Emperor, or whether it's from a Jedi, and like maybe that's why they don't get involved in Order 66. Maybe, and that's why they end up not working for the Empire.
Maybe it's Ahsoka.
Who knows? I don't think it's Ahsoka during the Clone Wars, but like who's to say they don't come meet up with her afterwards? It'll be very, very interesting. I like the fact that like it's obviously coming out in like early next year, so it's a case of like a lot of the sort of shooting the raw animation's probably done. So that's been being worked on for a while, I would say.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that's been worked on ever since the Clone Wars. Pretty much as soon as the Clone Wars got wrapped up, I reckon they started on that pretty much straight away.
Well, I think even maybe like it probably overlaps quite a bit.
Yeah, because if you remember at Celebration, that was the episode we saw, was the Bad Batch. You know?
Yeah. No,
yeah, because everyone was like, it makes sense, like why they've already had their own theme music as well. They have their own theme music in the Clone Wars, so I tend to believe that'll be the theme music for the show. And
yeah, definitely.
I've seen a lot of people say like, "Oh, they're very one-dimensional," but I think the show will flush them out much more.
I think they started off one-dimensional, but I think you did sort of see complexities in them a little bit. But obviously, in the episode where we saw them, it was a lot of they weren't the main focus. The main focus was getting
Echo
back in the treatment jar between that.
He's in the Bad Batch as well, isn't he? Yeah,
well, he's now part of them, so I think we will get a lot more of them and flush the characters out a lot more because they'll have more. They're the main stars now. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, you kind of have to, otherwise the program's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, no, definitely. So like it's exciting that's how that's coming.
Well, people used to call Maul one-dimensional. Now look at that. So
yeah, definitely. Like as we know, like just because something's introduced one way doesn't mean like the storytelling's finished. Especially with Star Wars, where storytelling's been over 40 years now worth of storytelling, and so you're going to keep going longer. Do you know what I mean?
And it could be just the way they've had to use the Bad Batch to fit into that story in the Clone Wars. Sounds like there's a hell of a lot more to them, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. So that sums up the topics today. So we've had a few of our listeners send in some questions this week. So starting off on Twitter, we've had Rural Farm Boy. Thanks for listening to the podcast, by the way, Rural Farm Boy. And thanks very much for interacting with us and sending a question in. Rural Farm Boy asks us, what's each of our favourite helmet in a galaxy far, far away? So I think let's break it down. Like, let's do like favourite prequel era, favourite original era, favourite sequel era. So like 3 each, one from each era. Sound good?
Yeah.
So I'll just go mine first. So like, right, I think my favourite one from the prequels is the Clone Trooper's helmet. I love the way how the version 1 of it, the visor is very much the same as Jango Fett's and the Mandalorian visor.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously paying homage to sort of where the DNA came from. And then I love how like it sort of gets a little bit away from that, come with the version 2 one we're seeing Revenge of the Sith. And then obviously like by the time you get the original trilogy, it morphs fully into the Stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah.
So it sort of pays homage to its DNA past. And then like I said, it morphs into sort of the future one during those things. My favourite from the original trilogy is probably like I really, really love the Rebel Alliance fighter pilot helmet. Just because of how simple, untechnological, and like used the look. Like it looks so real and so used. Look at a helmet you would just ride a skateboard on or ride a bike on. Obviously they're a little bit similar like to like jet pilot helmets and all that.
I think we did in the 80s.
Yeah, but the fact they held together on a chin strap and like they don't have a face mask, they just have the visor that
They're
drops
just
down.
practical and functional.
Yeah, and the fact like they're customizable, so obviously like they decorate the sides of them and stuff with like the rank or how many ships they've shot down and stuff like that. It's really, and when you compare it to the opposite, which is the TIE Fighter helmet, which is like so technological and looks so advanced and so squeaky clean jet black. Like I really, really love the sort of juxtaposition of that. So yeah, for me, I'll go with the Rebel fighter pilot helmets for the original trilogy.
Like it.
And then for the sequel trilogy, although there's not many helmets in there, main character wise, I'll probably go with the like Kylo Ren's because like I loved it. I loved the design in the first place. And then the fact like the helmet has a story where like he sort of wears it in the first movie, he smashes it in the second, and then it's like remade. But it's remade in the third one with like all its scars shown with like the red welds for the Kitsugi, like Japanese style of like remaking things. So like Kylo Ren's for the sequel trilogy for me. How about you, Alan?
Okay, so I'll agree with you on the last series with the Kylo Ren. I mean, I have to admit, I didn't really like the Kylo Ren helmet when I first saw it in the film. It just reeked a little bit too much of me of trying to be Darth Vader. But like you say, when it got remade with all of those red lines in it, it just looked absolutely wicked. And to me, it helped us appreciate the helmet a little bit more.
Yeah,
I mean, before it got broke.
I mean, interesting comment about you made about Vader, because obviously, like, I mean, we don't know who made the helmet, I don't think, but obviously, unless it's explained in the Colour and comic I've not read yet, but obviously,
but
like, obviously, Snoke describes him as a boy playing Vader.
Exactly. So, like, I mean, that's how the character was portrayed.
So if he's made that helmet himself and he's trying to play Vader, the helmet's probably perfect for its story purpose.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. When it gets remade and you see it, you appreciate it more when you go back to look at it. The original series, there's so many good ones to choose from. I'm just going to have to go with the one that always sticks out in my mind, which is Princess Leia's helmet in Return of the Jedi, which, because it is basically the Sega Mega Drive. Then it is. It seriously is. Like, every time I look at it, I'm just like, that's a Mega Drive. But then you think, but the Mega Drive didn't come out years after this program.
Is that like the rectangle bit on the top of it?
Yeah, and the little circle bit as well. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just Mega Drive. You know? And the prequels, well, I'm just going to go with it. You know, I mean, the main reason I watched the prequels. The brilliant films, but you get right down to brass tacks of why you watched it was basically to watch Anakin Skywalker turn into Darth Vader. So watching that helmet get attached onto him right at the end of Revenge of the Sith was one hell of a cinematic moment for me. So, yeah, Darth Vader's helmet.
Awesome. Ian, what's your picks?
Prequels, I'd have to go with... I'm trying to think now. I've had plenty of time to think. I like Jango Fett's helmet.
Very good. It was like very squeaky clean, man. Like, obviously we've seen Boba's being like battered and damaged, and then like Jango's was very much like a chrome version, wasn't it? Like squeaky clean chrome version.
Yeah, I was always kind of like, oh, that's how Boba Fett's outfit should look like.
Yeah. Back if we kept it pristine.
Yeah.
I also like General Grievous's mask.
Yeah, it's very for a character who like we only get introduced to in the third movie. Like I think the way he speaks and the way he breathes and the way he coughs, but also like the design of that mask does make him very menacing.
Yes.
Yeah, and the eyes. Just see his yellow eyes staring back at you.
Yeah, it's almost like I get like hockey mask feels, like old school hockey masks, like almost like like the ones like Killers wear, or like Casey Jones wears in the 1990 Turtles movie, like sort of that style hockey mask. That's like quite what's the word? Like sort of oozes machismo, sort of oozes like testosterone and anger.
Yeah.
And then for the original trilogy, Vader, 100%, because it's just iconic.
Yeah.
It's the main reason a lot of people fell in love with Star Wars is that character, and his whole armour is just iconic. And then the sequels, I was going to say Kylo Ren was easy, but I did like Sidon Ithano's helmet, the Crimson Corsair.
Yeah, the Crimson Corsair. He's a great fighter.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to do one out of left field. I didn't want to say Kylo Ren again. But I like the Crimson Corsair's helmet. That's pretty cool. There's like outside the films, the second sisters from Jedi Fallen Order. That's an awesome one.
That's pretty wicked.
I mean, he does say like helmet in a galaxy far, far away. So obviously, rural farm boys asking that it could be from a comic, a book, a video game. So yeah, definitely worthy mention. The ones from the games. Obviously, Darth Revan's from the games.
Yeah, I was going to say Revan as well.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, obviously Star Wars very rich for its helmets and buckets. We're very blessed. And the next question is from another good listener of ours, Matty Alden, who always listens to the shows and he often contributes questions. So thanks for that, Matty. Obviously, keep it up, please. We love answering your questions. And he's put, what do you think about a movie set in the Old Republic? Hopefully showing Revan's story on the big screen.
100%. Yeah. I'm all down for anything Old Republic. There's been a few things mentioned in canon that have happened set in the Old Republic. I tweeted about it the other day. I can't remember what all the things were, but yeah, 100%. I love the Old Republic stuff in Legends, the Darth Bane trilogy, Knights of the Old Republic, and that stuff. I just think it's got to be a matter of time. Like they already sell a ton of Revan merchandise. They're doing his lightsaber and Black Series this year. The figure was the first fans' choice Black Series figure was Darth Revan. He's just an awesome design character, and I think it's only a matter of time.
Yes, I mean they've released like Darth Revan, and then they've just released the Jedi Revan version.
Yes.
The Black Series as well, which I don't own yet, but I will be soon. I hope, fingers crossed. So not up for pre-order on with Hasbro as well, the Revan lightsaber, which I think I've seen people getting. So maybe if you have pre-ordered it, maybe those are arriving. So I have sort of gone all out with the Revan merch. For me, like I definitely want the Old Republic story, or a story set in the Old Republic. For me, it doesn't need to be like play for play of the games. Like for me, they can like totally go and obviously use the games and use what's good about them. But like for me, like they can totally tell us new things as well, which I don't mind. I think it'll be even better that way because that way you won't be like knowing exactly what's going to happen. So we'll be a bit in the dark. It'll be a bit fresh. For me though, it's like obviously Matty's asking, would we like it as a movie on the big screen? And obviously I love watching things on the big screen. It's awesome. But for me, the Old Republic is such a big and vast area to tell stories in. For me, I think it works better as a TV series. Like
I agree.
Like almost Game of Thrones-esque.
Yeah. You could get so much more in depth with it. And I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be more in depth than a 2.5 hour film. You could have series after series on it,
Off the top of my head, you do a Darth Bane series.
Exactly.
You do,
it's diverse. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, the High Republic, I honestly thought was, I was really surprised it was. I thought they actually were going to do Old Republic.
Well, I think maybe that's what they're doing. So they've used High Republic for the publishing initiative, and then maybe they'll go Old Republic in television.
Yeah. Just get spoiled and get all three.
Everyone's clambering for High Republic stuff. I think a lot of people, and there's so much to tell. Whether you adapt some stuff from Legends, obviously there's stuff mentioned in canon, like in Rebels, the Sith Temple and Malachor. It's called the Great. Yeah. That's called the Great Scourge of Malachor. That'd be a great thing to see. It's in canon that the Sith once took over Coruscant. That type of thing. You got the legend of Tar Vizsla, the first Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Who created the Darksaber, which is obviously now appeared in live action, obviously with the Mandalorian.
There's even the the Zygarians from the Clone Wars.
Which ones are those again?
They're the slavers.
Oh yes, I remember.
They said they had a vast empire once, and the Jedi destroyed it. That'd be cool to see when the Jedi actually stop slavery instead of allowing it.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian Wars.
There's a lot there.
That's
There's a
canon,
lot
yeah.
of storytelling.
So there's
I
tons
mean-
of stuff.
I mean, everything you just said there, you're going to get like 10 seasons out of, I think.
I was just thinking that, like, it
And that's
doesn't
awesome.
really stop, does it?
Give
I
it.
don't know whether it would work better as an animated series.
It will be cheaper.
Yeah.
It will be cheaper. Obviously, the problem you have is that does it get as many eyes on it? Obviously, you're Star Wars fans so hardcore will consume everything, and I love animation as a storytelling tool. But as the movie going and TV going public, like they do get put off by animation as like it is treated sometimes by people as a second class form of art, which is completely wrong, and it's not. It's a brilliant piece of art, and it's a brilliant piece of storytelling equipment. That's how I view it.
Into the Spider-Verse. There you go. That's as good as any live-action film.
No, definitely. Like, just look at like the Clone Wars series and the Rebel series. Like, it's some of the most powerful Star Wars storytelling out there. Like, it's up there with the best. So, like, for me, like, it is. But I think, like, if you've got a company putting its money into it, then you want the biggest money made back on it. And I think, obviously, it would be cheaper to make animated, but you get less eyes on it. So, like, you spend more on a live action series, but you would get more eyes on it. And, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I think if you did, like, say if you did it and it was got to the acclaim of Game of Thrones was at its height. Yeah. Like,
but I think you'd get the right eyes on it, if you know what I mean. It wouldn't get, like, if it was like a TV series rather than a film, the right people would watch it first, and then maybe the spark would grow that, you know, lights for the rebellion type of thing. Sorry, I just went off. Like, the right eyes are on it, so the right people are watching it, and then it would maybe grow from that, you know?
Maybe. I think, like, I like what you're saying, but, like, I think, like, essentially they'd want it to increase subscribers on Disney Plus is what it would be designed to do, like, effectively for the company. And I think, like, obviously we're already all subscribed because we watch Star Wars on it. So they need that mainstream, like, that audience to be interested in it.
Well, that would all depend on the writing, I suppose, you know, how they wrote it, how they were going to have the story to go, you know?
Definitely, but I just think if you took 20 people off the street, put them in a room and said, we've got this, you can either watch it in like a movie live action version or a cartoon version.
Yeah,
I think the majority they're not going to go with the thing. Like sadly, that's what the money talks, doesn't it? I think, like, and obviously like Disney Plus needs to work because the amount of money they've invested in it. Obviously, Marvel shows are a standstill at the moment. And from what I gather, like Mandalorian and Clone Wars are the top two viewed shows on the whole platform. Yeah. So again, just shows how important it is into their structure.
I get you.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think if the teams it looks like the animation department's on smaller scale stories, like the Bad Batch. Obviously, it's following that team I've already met.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, like, obviously it's a smaller scale story, so it's obviously cheaper to animate. And I'd see the bigger stuff for like I said, the wow factor and going after Emmy awards and all that type of thing.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Yeah.
But I think, like, I mean, it'd be crazy if we got 10 seasons. Imagine if it ran for like 12 years. Like, it'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have to get that. Like, it's like a dream come true, that, if that happens. Because, like, take The Mandalorian, for example. Like, I'm expecting that to be, like, maybe 4 seasons tops. Don't know why, just to me, good feeling. I think it's going to be, like, four tops. But then, like, with something as crazy as in wide and vast as the Old Republic, like I said, you could go, like, 12 seasons. It could be, like...
About The Simpsons.
Yeah, it could be like the longest running show in Disney Plus history, maybe. Like, do you know what I mean? Down the line.
It could be. It really could be, you know.
But yeah, very, very tantalising aspects. Anyone else got any other thoughts on the...
Good.
Nah, I think we covered it there.
If I give you a choice, so like I'm giving you 2 choices now. You've got to pick one. What do you want to pick? You can have one movie of the Old Republic, or you can have one 10-episode TV series of the Old Republic. You've got to pick one.
Oh, the TV series.
TV,
without a doubt.
TV, 100%, yeah.
Cool. Me too, I'm the same. I'll choose the TV.
Just I'm greedy. I want more. So
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly the same.
Definitely. You just think about like for television now. Obviously, like, you can give stories like more depth because you can tell them in like a longer form. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got 10 hours to tell a story.
Yeah, I just think Disney Plus platform is perfect for Star Wars. Like, it's really a nice little home for it to sit and get these stories, and you know what I mean. We can have them and access them whenever we want, and do whatever whenever. You know.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think like it's a genius idea to have it all in house on their own platform.
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
100%. So that brings us. That was just the two questions we got in from Matty and from Rural Farm Boy. So thanks guys again for supporting the show. Anybody listening, if you want your thoughts or questions on the next one, just stay tuned to our social media. We post on there when we're looking for fan questions to come in.
I've got a random question.
Go on then.
And I'll put this out to the entire everybody who's listening to the podcast world. I was going through my Star Wars stuff a few weeks ago, and I kind of worked out that I have way more versions of a Millennium Falcon than anything else that I've got. Like I'll have one of this, or two of that, or three of that, and then I've got like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 Millennium Falcons, and they just seem to be growing. And I just wonder if I'm the only person on the planet who's like that, or does anybody else just suddenly seem to have one Star Wars thing way more than anything else? You know, like somebody's got way more Landos and some, or way more X-Wings, or like I've got 20 lightsabers where I've only got one Millennium. Just something like that. I just thought it was a random question.
I think I've certainly seen people who collect certain aspects. I've seen someone who collects Maul, so they've got like every type of Maul that comes out. They've got like from Lego Maul, the Black Series Maul, the Pop Funko Maul, the Gentle Giant Maul, to Hot Toys Maul. I mean, for me, I'm looking at like I've got a Kenner Falcon in front of us, I've got a Lego Falcon in front of us, I've got a Micro Machine Falcon in front of us.
It's funny, isn't it? Because it's not something that you really meant to do.
Yeah,
you know.
But I've got what else have I got? I've got trying to think. I've got a lot of droids. I've got like
but do you have like 20 R2D2s?
No, so like right in front of us now, looking at one cabinet, I've got like 8 Astromechs looking at us.
Yeah,
that's before I go looking at other places in the room. So it's like eight Astromechs there. I've got like one. I've got Chopper. I've got like 4 sets from like a Droid Factory series. I've got a Disney Parks exclusive Halloween one, R2 Boo, and I've got R2 H16, which was the Christmas one that year. He's wearing like a winter hat. But I didn't. I like droids, but I'm not particularly fanatical about them. But I just end up with lots of them by the looks of it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the crux of my question. Is somehow through your collecting, you managed to get one thing way more than anything else, even though you never really meant that for that to happen.
So probably Astromechs for me then. We've got like we had out of Astromechs now. Look at it. How about you, Ian? What you got?
I've got a fair bit of Kylo Ren stuff about. I remember when The Force Awakens was coming out. I just thought the character was really cool. I've got his helmet. I've got like every one of the figures that came out for him. So yeah, I've got a fair bit of Kylo Ren stuff.
Yeah,
that's
actually, not cool. Now you've said that, I'm looking at 2 Kylo Rens now. So I've got a few of them. I've got a lot of clones as well. Actually, I've got a lot of clones and stormtroopers. Probably got a lot of everything, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you have that one thing that you've got way more than anything else, you know?
Yeah, probably Astromechs. Don't know why, but it's got a lot of them.
Yeah, it's one of those things that just happen. It's just all of a sudden you've got like a lot of them.
Yeah.
So that's my question to go out to podcast world.
Yeah.
Have you got one thing, one item, Star Wars, way more than anything else? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, guys, obviously get on the social media. I'll be at the end of the episode, so if you don't follow us on social media, check that out and then get your answers in there to Alan's question. And that brings us pretty much to the end of the episode, guys. You got anything you want to add, Alan, before we sign off?
No, I'm going to go back into hiding before the government finds us.
Yeah, obviously Alan's not on social media at all in any aspect because he's hiding from the government, even though he lives in the capital of the country.
Hide under the noses. That's the best way.
Yeah.
You're lucky, mate, about not being on social media, believe me. Sometimes, anyway.
I think that's the reason I'm not, to be honest with you.
Ian, you got any closing thoughts for you?
No, mate, I'm all right. I'm good. Happy.
Awesome. It's been great to have you back on. Like I said, we like the podcast we've had been on a few weeks hiatus, just with life getting away and that. Obviously, me and Alan last recorded a few weeks ago, and obviously, Ian, you haven't been on in a while, but it's been fantastic having you back, mate.
No drama, mate.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah, obviously, Ian, congratulations on being engaged.
Thank you.
Well done, son.
Yeah, thank
nice
you.
one.
Thank you,
Ian and the Lucky Lucy, I believe, is that correct?
That is correct.
Yes, I got it right.
Make sure you do, yeah.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you.
But no, that's fantastic news, mate. Congratulations from everyone at the podcast. I'm sure all the listeners share that as well. Where can the people find you on social media, Ian?
I'm just on Twitter at Star Wars Ian, all lowercase. That's where you can find me.
Awesome. And I've been Peter. Thanks very much for joining us, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us, Alan.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for joining us, Ian.
Thank you.
And may the force be with everyone. Please follow us on Twitter at BoresStar. That's at BoresStar. And on Instagram and Facebook at Star Wars Podcast. You can also reach us on email at starwarspodcast@gmail.com. The Star Wars Show can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and wherever podcasts can be found. Please give us a like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a 5-star review. May the Force be with you.